We have 4 candidates for the Parish Council District 7. Presented here are candidates Joe Impastato and Dewey Spies. The other candidates failed to respond.
Okay, hello, my name is Joe Impastato. I am running for St. Tammany Parish Council seat District number 7. That's in Macomb and Mandeville. I'll tell you a little bit about myself. I've been in St. Tammany Parish, specifically this area, since I was 1.5 years old. My family came over from the North Shore, from the South Shore. We opened a restaurant, they opened a restaurant, excuse me, called Salad and Jews. I've been here my entire life. In the school in the area, I've played sports in the area. I have my business here, which is Impastato Family Wholesale. We import and manufacture our own product line. So it's a very complicated business that has a lot of different issues that I deal with on a daily basis. And I think that, amongst other things, helps me be a great candidate for this job. I'll go over a couple of things I did. I was actually elected before around 20 years ago, and I'd like to go over some of the things I did that made me qualify for the job. One of the things I was able to be successful with is to build a community center in Macomb, something that we promised. A lot of people told us it was impossible to do, but we were able to achieve that goal. It's a big deal for our community. We rebuilt and acquired the property for the Main Street boat launch. We paved all the streets in Hidden Pine subdivision. We worked with the sheriff to get the first substation in the Macomb area. That made a huge difference on police visibility around our community. I worked with the fire department. I was elected, or actually appointed to the fire commission when I was 24 years old, and we saved them $80,000 a year annually on their budget through some changes, and we were able to hire the first paid fireman in the fire district 4. I also worked with them to transition the ambulance service from basic life support to advanced life support, which is a big deal for our community. So I could go on with a lot of other accomplishments. I was the council chairman. I was on the RPC. I was able to get a lot done with a lot of help from a lot of other people. But the main thing that separated me from any other candidate is my love and care for my community. It means the world to me. I love being here, and I see so many opportunities for improvement that I know I can make a difference on. Another one of the biggest issues I see that's going on in our community today is the lack of ability for government to get along. The council and the administration don't get along. They don't get along with the district attorney's office, excuse me. So a big part of my job has been sales and building relationships. When I was there before, I had a great relationship with the administration. I had a great relationship with the district attorney's office. And I know I can bring that to the table in leadership role as far as just building good relationships. And you're not going to get things done if you don't have a good relationship with the administration and the other government agency. One built on respect and trust, but that's something that's very important to me. Also something that's new from anybody else running for the seat in that area. Another of the biggest challenge I see is land use in our district, and that's something that I focus on a lot. So we have a big district with a lot of vacant land and a lot of growth. We know I was able to achieve before when I was in office the first comprehensive rezoning in our parish. We want to redo that again because we see a lot of vulnerability. I'm surprised to see how many moratoriums have passed since then, but we had probably one of the first moratoriums ever enacted. I think they're kind of overused, possibly, but they can be a very productive tool because we really need to make sure we're able to bring infrastructure into the area. So if you have areas that are vulnerable, that don't have any kind of infrastructure, we need to be able to do this. Some other specific improvements that I want to work on is Soul Street in Mandeville. It desperately needs underground utilities and some kind of bike or walking trail on the side. We want to work on recreation. It's a big deal for us. We want to bring more opportunities to children. I think that's one of the #1 things, and different types of opportunities from chess, music, and as well as more individualized sports like weightlifting, potentially wrestling. So I appreciate your vote and your support, and I can assure you I'm the best person for the job, primarily because of the love I have for my community. Thank you.
I'm Dewey Spies, and I'm running for councilman for District 7 of St. Tammany Parish. I'm married. I have 4 daughters and 5 grandchildren. Been a resident of St. Tammany Parish for 23 years. I went to Southeastern Louisiana University, where I got a bachelor's degree in accounting and a master's degree in finance. The experience I had is very varied. After I got out of college, I went into the insurance business and did property casualty insurance, including management and sales. And then later on in life, I got into property management and real estate investing. And for the last 12 years, I was also a justice of the peace in in Lacombe. And I did that for 12 years and found it very interesting. My community involvement is St. Tammany Board of Adjustments I was on. I was also on St. Tammany Planning and Zoning. I was also on the St. Tammany Fire District number 4 in Lacombe. I did the Recreation Board in Lacombe, and I did the Parish Development District for St. Tammany. Also, I've been president of the Lacombe Harbor Landowners Association, and I'm currently a board member of the Bayou Lacombe Museum. So I keep pretty active. But one other thing to bring up is many years ago, I was also president of the Jefferson Parish School Board, but that's like another life. So anyway. But I think this background will help me as being a councilman and help me help St. Tammany, because that background will help, because next year, 2024, they're going to have budget problems. They're looking at a $13 million deficit. And where you find that money at, the cuts you have to make, and what other things you can come up with, makes things very difficult. So I think with my background, I would be able to, with the other councilmen and the administration, we could figure out good ways to solve the problem. I just think that's my background, and I would hope that you would vote for me because of my background and my enthusiasm and experience. So if you would vote for me, I'd sure appreciate it. Thank you very much.